Hi, I'm Donna Miller. I'd like to share with you the reason I mill my grain at home and the reason that you might want to give it some careful consideration. It's not because I have some grandiose plan of going back to basics and living without electricity or think the world is still flat. It's because of some of the studies I've done that have proven why freshly milled flour is better than store-bought flour, even whole wheat store-bought flour. Quickly I'll get into the process, but this is a minor portion of all the information. If you can subscribe to our newsletter down below if you're on our site or in the pop-in window, then you'll get each week a little blurb on the science and nutrition behind why milling is best for you. Alright, quickly I'm going to move into this. When the whole kernel is created, it was created by the Creator to be stored. The outer husk, which you can see here, is called the bran, protects the endosperm and the germ of the whole wheat. This is how it was designed to store for years. If you remember the Bible story of Joseph and the Pharaoh interpreting the dream to store grain for 7 years. 7 years of famine. I'd say this is a pretty foolproof preservative without any added chemicals. There's also been grains found in ancient pyramids because the pharaohs thought they were going to be taking food to the afterlife. Ancient pyramids of kamut or spelt and wheat that when found they were 4,000 years old, but when planted they grew. I'd say this is an excellent storage compartment that the Creator gave us. Now, if you can look at the grain, you'll see the bran, the endosperm, and the germ. The bran is missing from our diet currently by all standards. When you're being told you need more bran and more fiber, that's what you're missing because bagged flour takes it out. Now let's move on to whole wheat. Whole wheat is considered whole wheat, however they have to take out the germ, that little portion down at the bottom. The germ is what is the life-giving food for the wheat kernel when it grows. This has your vitamin E, your necessary oils, all of the other things we happen to be missing in the Western 20th century diet. These two things missing leave you the endosperm, which is your basic white bread flour. It is the dead flour that sits on the shelf. It's been milled and processed and sometimes even bleached. That's a totally different topic. And it sits there oxidating and losing what little nutrients it has. It has the least amount of nutrients other than the protein. Even those get stripped and the manufacturers put back only 4 to 5 at 1/3 of what they naturally have. So as you can look at this picture of the entire bran, endosperm, and germ in the wheat kernel, then you're going to know to use the whole thing as God intended is the best for your nutrition. Alright, now that you've seen what the whole grain looks like and you've heard a little bit about what's inside each of them, let me tell you what is missing when they take them away. 86% of your niacin, this is only a little bit of it, of the information, this is only a little bit of the information. 86% of your niacin is taken out when the bran is removed and you're eating only white flour. 64% of your thiamine is taken out when you're eating only white flour with bran. The germ is taken out. The reason the germ is taken out in the process is because the wheat germ contains oil. Oil will make the flour ferment and spoil faster. That's why milling at home works perfectly. You use it as soon as you mill it. You get every single bit of the nutrients that God intended in that kernel of grain, be it corn, be it wheat, be it spelt, whatever. You get every bit of nutrients as it was intended. Now, why is that important? Well, yeah, you could take a multivitamin, but when you eat a whole grain food, you are nourishing your cells on every level that they need to be nourished. This is a picture of whole grain nutrition. I do not have a degree in biology, but as far as I can tell with the DNA, the mitochondria, and the different nutrients in and expelled, you get a lot more from your whole grain nutrients than you do from a refined grain nutrient. Because again, remember, all you're getting in refined grains is the endosperm. That's basically starch, basically carbohydrates. Everything else you get from your bran and your wheat germ. You can see the cell at the bottom is only receiving 4 of the nutrients necessary. Therefore, it can't give out what it's intended to give out, to reproduce, to expend energy, to burn fat, to work your brain, to work your muscular system. All of the cells need to be completely nourished as much as possible. And a whole grain nutrition is what will help to feed your cells on all those levels. Now, the easiest thing to do is to just show you. We're going to make this kind of quick. The whole grain is how it's intended. One whole grain. This moves pretty easily through your system. It's intended to move this way. You see the space at the bottom. This is your bran. This is the outer covering. Now you know you can buy this in health food stores because they've taken it out and packaged it again so they can sell you the same grain twice. This bran helps move through your system, as well as providing you with the niacin, the riboflavins, and many more items that take us too long to list that you're missing in white flour. Also, see how that quickly falls to the bottom and moves through the vial. These are your middlings. These are parts within the germ and within the bran that are still more roughage, more fiber, still necessary for your body. All of these so far have been removed from the process. This one is, to me, one of the most vital. It's wheat germ. Again, you can buy this in the health food store. Now they've sold you the same grain 3 times, as white flour, as bran, and as wheat germ. Wheat germ has your essential E's, all your vitamins in it. Again, like I said before, your thiamine, your riboflavin, and again, see how quickly that falls to the bottom. And the wheat germ oil, which is extracted even in wheat germ that you buy at the health food store to help lubricate in your body as well as nourish your cells, specifically vitamin E, which we are lacking greatly in the American diet. Lastly, you end up with white flour. I want you to watch at how long it takes the white flour to go to the bottom of the vial. It doesn't. This is what it's doing inside your colon. Another topic. Without all the nutrients provided with the bran, the middlings, the germ, and the oil, this grain is dead and sitting inside your colon, stuck in there just like it's stuck at the bottom of the bottle. The way God intended was the whole thing. That's why I take the time to mill at home. And by the way, the time is probably an extra minute in the recipe. I hope I've convinced you to take a deeper look. Please make sure you sign up for our newsletter. You'll get a little bit more information every so often, bits and pieces. That's how you eat an elephant, one bite at a time. Please enjoy your visit around the website and come back and visit us soon. Thank you.